Okay, so I know you guys are all like really, really sad because this is the last video about logic. So, tearjerker, but we only have to learn a little bit more and it's not that bad. Okay, so 3 more conditional statements. So, I have this for you. I'm going to ask several quiz questions about this. So, okay, now that you've taken the quiz questions, alright, so which one do you think is converse? So actually, converse is this one. Q, implication, P. Alright? Inverse is this one. Negation of P, implication, negation of Q. And then contrapositive is this one right here. Alright? So, let's look at these in words because this looks kind of funky, right? So let's use this statement. So we used this one before. It was like, if you study, you get good grades. So let's write this down. So we have P, I study, Q, I get good grades. Everyone likes this one because in logic, it makes sense. If you study, you get good grades. Sometimes in life, it doesn't work that way, but that's just not logically equivalent, or it doesn't make logical sense. All right, so I study, I get good grades. So what this means for these new statements, so this one, converse. This means that if I get, I'll write it down here. No, let me see. How should I write this? If I got good grades, then I studied. If I got good grades, then I studied. Then I studied. So this is like looking at it backwards. So it's saying, if I got good grades, then I studied. So this is saying in the converse statement that to get good grades, you have to have studied. Alright, so let's look at the next one. Inverse. So this says, if I did not get a good grade, then, if I did not study, then actually, I don't know if it's the past. If I did not study, then I will not get good grades. Okay? So that's inverse. So basically just the opposite of the statement. If I study, then I get good grades. If I do not study, then I will not get good grades. Just the kind of like the opposite a little, but we say inverse. Okay? Inverse. Alright, and then the last one, contrapositive. So, this one is saying, if I did not study, if I did not get good grades, then I did not study. So this one is kind of like a combination of the two. So you can see it a little bit here. Converse and inverse, and then contrapositive. So it's basically like the converse negated. So inverse is like the regular implication negated. Converse is the regular implication backwards, and then contrapositive is the original statement backwards negated. It's kind of crazy, but it's just some more logic symbols and statements and stuff. So yeah, there's 3 new big words to remember. The other thing that starts to come into play in this section is they start to ask for you to start to prove stuff and to come up with counterexamples. So in case you guys don't know, it's kind of cool. In math, a lot of mathematicians are trying to find theorems, right? And like, I don't know if you know how in like science, like even gravity isn't necessary, like there's a lot of different theorems that unless like proven wrong, are considered true. So in math, it's kind of like that. So if we're talking about this logic stuff, and you say that this is a statement you're going to go with, if I study, I get good grades. Well, the only, like, it's true unless you can prove a counterexample. And then if you can even prove just one counterexample, the whole thing is wrong. Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense or is illogical. So if even one time you studied and you didn't get good grades, this would, in math, negate, it would make everything, the theorem would be false. So that's this theorem, and if that ever happened to you, then this theorem's false, but for the purpose of learning the new words, we'll say it's true. All right, so yeah, I think, let's see what else. I think counterexample is something you have to know, and okay, so it says it's often the case that if you're given a valid argument, its converse is not valid. So that kind of makes sense. So if I study, I get good grades. If I get good grades, then I studied, is like not always valid. And this is known as the fallacy of converse. So that's like a little other word. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty much like at the end of this section. So converse, inverse, contrapositive. Again, here it is. Fun symbols and some meanings behind it. Okay, cool. Thank you.